You just didn't know where to start.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so today I'm going to teach you about something called the where to planning method. So the goal for this just small mini lesson is for you to understand how to incorporate the where to planning method in your future teaching. So the Wiggins WHERETO planning method helps teachers to create meaningful learning activities that are engaging and effective for students. Okay, so we're going to start and go through. So first, the W is for where is the unit headed? Ensure the students know where the unit is headed and why. So to me, I think this is having good goals at the beginning of the lesson for your students so they know what they're supposed to do, where they're supposed to be by the end of the lesson. Okay, and H is hook the students to the beginning and hold their attention throughout. So when you write an essay or a paper and you have to have like an attention getter to get your reader's attention, well, just like when you're teaching a lesson, you need to have the same thing. You need to have an attention getter for the students, and so they get excited about the lesson. You want them to be excited about what you're learning and what you're teaching them. So an example of this could be an exciting activity. It gets them moving and gets them excited for the rest of the lesson, or even a story or something that just helps them to be excited about what they're learning. Okay, so E is equip the students with necessary experience, tools, knowledge, and know-how to meet their performance goals. Okay, so what do you guys think? Let me ask you, what do you think this means? What kind of things would help them?
I guess just like kind of helping them understand what they're supposed to do and like what they're going to be measured on and stuff.
Okay, so having like explicit directions and having them beforehand show them what they need to do and how they can get a good grade or what they need to do to succeed. Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Yeah, I agree 100%. That'd be really good for them. Okay, so R is reflect, rethink, and revise. So this provides students with numerous opportunities to rethink their big ideas, reflect on their progress, and revise their work. So this allows their students to look back at their completed work or at their ongoing work and see how that they can improve or change or tweak things to make them a little different or better. And this is, as a teacher, you can really help them and kind of direct them back to the right way. And one way I think that we do this often is reflection papers or analysis papers. Have you guys ever written analysis papers?
Yeah.
Did they help you? Did they kind of like make you see why you made certain decisions or what you did?
Yeah, like kind of helps you see what you did wrong and how to fix it next time.
Yeah, so this is what the rethink, reflect, and revise portion is about. Okay, so going on to E, evaluating progress by students. So build in opportunities for students to evaluate the progress and self-reflect. So have the students look back at what they did, and this is kind of very similar to doing the analysis. Okay, so T, tailor the learning plan. So it's tailored to reflect individual talents, interests, and styles and needs. So I find this especially important because you know what your students like, and you know the individuals, and you know their talents that they have or special interests, and so you can really make your teaching fun for them and interesting for them. Because if it's going to be boring for you, you know it's going to be boring for them. So just make the learning a fun process for them. Okay, and the last one is O, for organize, for fostering deep understandings as opposed to superficial coverage. So we've all had those teachers where they kind of just like glaze over the surface of it. They don't dig very deep, and not really any real learning going on. So I think for this, you really have to ask them questions for their understanding and ask them to kind of think for themselves. So they have to critical think, and so they can really understand and not just at a surface level. Because if you just go at the surface level, they're going to forget it, and you want them to retain that information. Okay, so that is the where to learning or the planning method. So we went through all the letters, and do you guys have any questions about the individual ones or the planning method as a whole?
Yes. If I'm not going to be a teacher, how can I apply this to my life?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I plan to be a teacher, but you guys are not, so good question. So in our life, especially being members of the church, we have lots of teaching opportunities. We can be Relief Society teachers or Gospel Doctrine teachers or probably primary teachers. And I feel like this planning method really applies to all of that as well. All of these principles still apply. And so you can use this. Just for one example is for you're at church when you're doing a primary lesson. How can you hook the students? How can you let them, reflect on what they just learned and ask them questions that make them go in depth? So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you for listening.
That was very helpful.